Here is the recipe card that you should find in the Year 9 food nutrition booklet. As you can see from the writing, there is purple writing, which is the potato pan, and black writing, which is the pan that you should be cooking the shepherd's pie filling in. Also on this recipe card is a list of ingredients and list of equipment that you should get out before you start cooking. I would advise that you read through the whole recipe before you start. As you're doing this, place them in a pan of cold water so they don't go brown as you're peeling the rest. Remember to chop the potatoes roughly the same size, otherwise you will have lumpy bits in your mash. Leave the potatoes in the cold water and peel and dice all the other vegetables you want to go with the mince in the other pan. Dicing up vegetables really small is a really great way of getting young fussy eaters to increase their vegetable content when it's hidden in a shepherd's pie or cottage pie under some creamy mashed potato. So let's remind ourselves of how to safely chop an onion. So first of all, we're going to find out which is the root and which is the top. We're going to chop the top off first. So when you chop with a vegetable knife, you always break the skin with a point and then slice. Use a sawing action rather than just pressing down so your knife doesn't slip. Now we've got a nice flat area to place the onion on. The root is now pointing upwards. So with the bridge technique, we're going to cut the onion in half. Now we're going to peel off the inedible peel, so rip that away. You're not going to start suffering from watery eyes because the root is intact, and that's called the chemical that makes your eyes water. So just peeling away the shaft. With the root still intact, we're now going to, with our vegetable knife, we're going to put the knife in by the root and cut away from the roots. We're looking to dice the onion, so place the knife by the root and cut away. Now I'm going to do 3 cuts like this. So the onion almost looks fanned out with the root still holding it intact. If you cut the root off too early, you'll find it slides everywhere and you're at risk of cutting yourself. Now place the half onion flat on the cutting board, and with the claw technique we're going to dice the onion. So again, remember to use a sawing technique instead of just pressing hard on the knife. You can use the bridge technique as well. And this is the point where we finally cut the root away and dispose of it very quickly so we don't get panda eyes. With the mince, remember to check the date before you open the packet, and remember to peel off the piece of paper underneath the mince. Before you start cooking, dissolve the stock cube in a measuring jug with a pint of boiling water ready to pour in when all the vegetables have softened. Now you're ready to cook. Bring the potatoes to the boil. Use a lid on the pan to be more energy efficient. In a large pan like the one here, brown off your mince and soften your onions. Remember to use something that's not going to scratch the bottom of the pan to stir the mince and onions together. Once the mince is browned, add in the rest of the vegetables that you pre-cut earlier and stir well. Pour in all the stock. At this point you can reduce the heat and allow all the vegetables just to soften. This is also a really great time to check how much water is in the potato pan. We're waiting for the potatoes to be as soft, just so soft that you can just place a knife through them really quite easily. We don't want to drain them too soon. If you are adding salt as seasoning, remember to shake it into the palm of your hand rather than shaking it directly into the pan, so you know how much you're adding. Too much salt can increase blood pressure and cause heart disease. Checking on the potatoes, there's still a good enough amount of water in this pan, and I'm just trying to see if I can place a knife through the potatoes really easily. These ones, I think, need another 2 minutes. In my house, we love adding mint sauce into a shepherd's pie just for extra flavour. Delicious. Whilst these are both cooking, remember you should always leave the handles of your pans to the side and away from small children who can grab it from the edge. Now it's time to clear up whilst we're waiting for these to cook. Drain the potatoes and return them to the pan. Put the pan on a tea towel on the side and mash. Butter can be added to the mashed potato for extra flavouring and to make it creamy. To thicken the shepherd's pie filling, use corn flour or plain flour blended with a drop of milk and pour into the wok. And this will create the gravy and thicken. The corn flour and milk should thicken up the sauce, ready to put in an oven-proof dish with mashed potato on top. So once the vegetables have all softened and are nice, put the filling into a oven-proof dish and top with a mashed potato. Now you can eat it straight away, everything has been cooked, or you can grill the top of the potato for a nice finish. So when you top the mashed potato, remember you can use a fork to make sure it's well spread across the top, and use the fork to give it a bit of texture. This small oven-proof dish is just for an individual. I'm going to wrap this up and take it to my nan, it's her favourite. Fantastic! One shepherd's pie.